Using a mist of synthetic sweat, the corrosion test exposes strings to elements mimicking a human finger. Over time, excess remains strong, while other strings corrode and become damaged. Testing complete.
Okay, well, before we jump into this, tell me a little bit about this amp.
Okay, well, this is really exciting because I actually just got this afternoon.
Really?
Yeah.
Here in Nashville?
From Rumble Seat.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so, you know, part of the logistics thing with this little tour is, you know, everybody, all these guys are in LA.
Yeah.
And so all their gear came out on pallets.
Yeah.
And I don't have an amp out there. So I spent the last month trying to find something out there to have Dan or Adam go get it for me and ship it out. Just wasn't working out. So eventually I was just like, you know what, I'm just gonna go to Nashville. I mean, also it took me too long to realize. I was like, if you're gonna go somewhere and buy an amp,
Oh, right.
it's probably the best place to be.
Great Craigslist here, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. You find...
Which reminds me, there's a guy on Craigslist that I had on standby. Right. I gotta send him an email, tell him.
You're gonna break his heart.
Yeah, Derek, if you're watching, I'm sorry, I'm gonna text you in an hour. I still want that Bandmaster though.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I just been trolling all the websites of, you know, the various places in town, and I saw this on Rumble Seat, and, you know, just right away the look of it, I was like,
oh, yeah.
hell yeah.
So what year is it?
So I think it's a 68.
Okay, you know, I saw Bonamassa playing one just like this a while ago.
Really?
Could be his for all I know.
Well, no. You know, actually, this is the best part. So I called them last week, and I was like, because they also had a Bassman that I was looking at, and,
Yeah.
and it sold, and I was pretty upset about it. So this was my second choice. And I called them last week and I was like, hey, I want that amp, you know, like, I'm gonna put a deposit on it.
Yeah.
So I put a deposit on it and just hoped for the best. And I went there today to play it, and I plugged in, and it was exactly what I wanted it to be. The best part was they were like, yeah, this is on consignment from Tom Bukovac.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I was like, okay, box it up.
Yeah.
Let's go. Because that was the other thing, is like, this is amazing, but like, you know, you never know if it's been sitting in somebody's dad's basement for 40 years or something.
Right. So it's the Sunn 100S?
That's it, 100S, which is, you know, they only made a couple amps in this era, I guess, but this was the guitar version, and the bass version is 200S. And I think the only real difference, Dan actually has a couple of them, not here, but the only difference I think is just that this has reverb and, you know, tremolo.
Both of which you've left off.
Which I've left off, but they actually, I mean, you know, it's kind of that Ampeg thing, but
Yeah.
they actually sound, you know, they sound pretty cool, actually. Like, it's not the worst sounding.
Yeah, no, cool.
And the
Subtle.
tremolo's got like a weird kind of thing happening too.
Oh, yeah.
Totally passable.
Oh, yeah, good for spy sounds.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. But I have, you know, the pedal, which is nice to turn on and off. So,
Very cool.
yeah.
So, in 215s.
215s, which they said are Fender JBLs, D140s, which I believe them. I haven't opened it up to look, but if you look through the grill, the dust cap looks a little different. So I'm not sure if it's just been reconed or changed out, or maybe they just don't have that, you know, the JBLs always have that silver dust cap on them.
Right, but over the past, what, how long is that, like 53
Something like that,
years,
yeah.
50? Maybe things have changed.
Maybe, but I mean, more importantly, it sounds great. And again, like if
And even
Tom
more importantly,
Bukovac
it looks
had
cool.
That's, I mean, honestly, like I told these guys, because they were like, are you sure? Like, you think, because I hadn't played it or anything, and I was like, honestly, unless it sounds like total trash,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna get it, because
Yeah.
it looks great. And
Yeah.
when you gotta compete with
Right.
that,
Yeah.
you can't. The
And
last
this,
run,
yeah.
the last run was on the West Coast, and I just flew out and borrowed one of Dan's Princetons, and I felt like, you know, just real challenged up there with little Princeton.
Oh, how emasculating.
Amongst-
a tiny,
yeah,
a tiny person.
It was really bumming me out, especially like people would come out, you know, and be like, whoa, man, you know, like dudes in different towns would be like, Adam, nice, man, what do you got over there? Dan, looking good. And then I just have like a new Princeton, and they're like, cool, man.
Yeah.
So we had to go vertical.
Yeah, okay, good.
But yeah, it's just big and clean, which is, you know, that's kind of the, you know, the Neil sort of lineage, the legacy of this band is like, that was kind of his thing.
Yeah.
You know, the Jerry sort of big,
Yeah.
clean sound. And this really does it. I don't know what it is about big amps, but it just sounds different. Like a big amp on 3 just sounds so much different than a small amp on 3.
Totally.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And this has it. It's got a little hair, and you know, say a prayer it doesn't blow up anytime in the next 2 weeks, but
Yeah. Although if it blows up, now's the time to do it so you can bring it back to Rumble Seat tomorrow.
that's true. Yeah, 'cause we're actually leaving from here in 2 weeks, so
Yeah.
I'll come back and say, what did you do?
Right. Right. Well, yeah, it looks great. Good luck on this maiden voyage.
Thank you.